Welcome to the Find Your Leadership Confidence podcast with Vicki Noethling. You are about to discover impactful lessons that help you grow as an individual, grow your confidence, and find the positive and good within you, so you powerfully and authentically become the best version of yourself. Be sure you visit our website at www.findyourleadershipconfidence.com. While you're there, subscribe to us via your favorite network. Now tune in, get ready, and enjoy the journey of emerging as a leader of exception in the 21st century.
Welcome, everyone, to the Find Your Leadership Confidence podcast. I'm your host, Vicki Noethling, coming to you from Roswell, Georgia. The goal of this podcast is to bring topics and guests that will empower you to become that confident leader and take your business and your life to the next level. Today, I'm very excited to have with me Tanner Haas, and let me tell you about Tanner. He started his first company when he was 18 years old and sold that company 2 years later to merely survive. He ate raw eggs since his power was turned off, and his own protein powder, a practice commonly referred to as eating your profits. And he drove for the Uber on the side. He happily would do the same thing again to any one of his companies if needed. It's that real startup life, and he's happy to share some of the lessons that he learned during that time. So we're going to talk about what it takes to become a successful entrepreneur. There are a lot of us out there that are entrepreneurs, but maybe not as successful as we wish to be or possibly could be. So listen up, take notes as we welcome my guest, Tanner Haas. Tanner, so excited to have you as a guest.
Thank you so much for having me on, Vicki.
Awesome. We always start out with two easy questions, Tanner. You sometimes prove me wrong with this, but the first one is, what part of the country do you live in? Where do you call home right now?
So right now I call two places home. That would be Castle Rock, Colorado, and Franklin, Tennessee.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
So
How
where
about
do you
you?
spend most of your time this time of year?
Colorado, but we're moving full-time to Franklin, Tennessee at the end of July. So that's why the house I'm in right now is about 75% empty. So there's no office per se. All that is in the other house.
Oh, wow. Well, Franklin's a great place to live and no state taxes, so that's always nice too.
No state taxes, great people, great environment.
Yeah.
It's so green and beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, Colorado is very nice too, but it's a little different vibe for sure.
A little different vibe. It's changing a lot. Taxes will go up. Been here for a while. So yeah, it's definitely a nice change.
Yeah, for sure. So the next piece we gave like the real version, REEL version of your life. I'd love for you to spend a little bit of time talking about your journey, those turning points and pivotal moments, aha moments, whatever you want to call them, that really informed who you are today and why you do what you do today to help entrepreneurs.
Yeah, so I am a 3-time author. I'm a 4-time founder. As you mentioned in the fantastic intro, I started my first company when I was 18 years old. I sold that company just over 2 years later. I wrote my first 3 books by the time I was 21 years old. And I would say that the most formative years of my life was, I'm young, but 16 years old and up, I just started reading voraciously at 16. So from 16 to 18, you really I gained more of a perspective. Since 16, so for 10 years, I've been reading 3 to 4 books a week, whether it's hard copy, Audible. Not a fan of Kindle yet, but after moving some of these boxes, books are not that easy to move.
That is so true.
So it would be 16 when I went to a seminar there's a lot of successful people there. I realized, okay, if I ever want to be successful, you got to read, period, end of story. Uh, when I was 18, I was in a really bad car accident that at the time was the worst thing to ever happen to me, but it actually turned out to be the best thing to ever happen to me. I was, I mean, a sports junkie. I was going to play college basketball, but my hip and back got really messed up. So I was basically in a chair for 6 months. And you'd be amazed how much you
Wow.
can read and learn
That's
when you
right.
can't do anything but sit.
Yeah.
So that was, I mean, it was great for me. Like, in all honesty, it was tough, but I read a lot of, I mean, hundreds of books within that period because all I was doing for 12 to 16 hours a day, sitting and reading and thinking.
Mm.
Those two, starting my first company, failing quite a bit. I mean, and that's not what you were saying. Like, that was the real startup life for me. That was true. I moved across the country to Miami. I wrote 2 books to help fund the company. I sold all my belongings. I took odd jobs since I was 16, hustling, selling things on the side. But I started that nutrition company and it really struggled. It wasn't what I thought it would be. You think as a hotshot 18-year-old or even anytime you're a first time entrepreneur, like, it's not really, excuse my lack of a better word, but it's not like sexy. It really sucks at the beginning. It's really tough. There's not a lot of people that believe in you. You don't have as much capital as you want. You don't have the connections you want. So it's kind of like you're just fighting and kicking, trying to stay alive. And those difficult moments for me, driving Uber on the side. And this wasn't like, I mean, this is working 12 to 14 hours a day on my startup, then working 6 to 8 hours a day on driving Uber. I mean, sleeping very little. My power was turned off, didn't have really any money. That made me realize that you can overcome a lot in this life. You can really, just with perseverance. And
That's
I've
exactly
taken
right.
that, right? I mean, people overlook that fact. Like, the person that succeeded and sold a company versus the person that didn't, very likely wasn't the idea was different. Likely they didn't have a difference in capital idea. It's really this person quit when this person didn't.
Did not.
And
Mm-hmm.
you just got to keep pushing, keep kicking. And it was at those very difficult moments that I actually developed a new sense of confidence in myself, an unwavering belief in myself. I became a better entrepreneur. And it's amazing what you can do when you burn your boats, as Tony Robbins says. Instead of having a backup plan, you just, nope, this is what I'm going to do. Come hell or high water, I'm going to make it work. And that's what I did. But it wasn't like a straight up, when I tell that and people, oh, you started a company at 18, sold it at 21. But it wasn't what you think. I mean, I was basically out of money. I had to sell all of my protein powder. So basically $100,000 worth of product for $10,000 because the business model didn't work. I realized that, well, if it cost me $25 per bottle, my shipping's $15. I wanted to offer free shipping. And it cost me, I mean, I'm selling it for 40. So right there, my cost is 40. I'm selling it for 40. I'm losing money on every sale. And I have to
Yeah.
acquire a
Yeah.
customer. I have to keep up with I mean, it was just terrible. So I realized that wasn't going to work. I quickly pivoted, but at no point in time did I think, okay, I'm going to give up. No, I said I'm going to start and sell a successful nutrition company. The products differed, the market strategy, everything changed, but the end goal never did. And when I was 21, I sold my first company. And that really just lit a fire that's like, okay, this is not like, being an entrepreneur is not some extraterrestrial, like, people that started, they're not this extraterrestrial being. They are people that struggled. They are people that persisted. And that's really what differentiates the ones that succeed from the ones that don't. There's not that big of a difference in IQ. There's not that big of a difference in idea. I mean, you really think that Travis Kalanick or Garrett Camp are the only ones that thought of Uber? I mean, I guarantee you there's thousands, hundreds of thousands, maybe, that have thought of that idea, but they just didn't start. They didn't begin.
Didn't do it. Mm-hmm.
So,
or maybe they did and they gave up. That's the other thing.
And they gave up too early. So
yeah.
That's my little pep talk for the day.
So I think you answered the next question somewhat. What is the most difficult part of starting a company?
Starting, as weird as that sounds, I mean,
Yeah.
literally, because people have this idea and you just keep delaying. I know people, and I'm not going to give out any names, but people have talked to me. I mean, 10 plus people. I'm thinking about starting this company. What do you think? Great idea. Yep, I'll help you. And they still haven't started. They keep coming up with excuses. Oh, trademark search is taking too long. Oh, this is taking too long. Oh, I haven't found a facility that can make the product. Oh, I don't have the team yet. Like every reason why to delay. And the moment that you begin and just put something like some money in, and that's what I had to do for my nutrition company, is I kept delaying. I'd work on the name. I'd work on the, like, doing everything I could do without jumping in full time.
Mm.
And eventually I was like, you know what? I'm going to send the wire. I'm going to send the wire for the protein powder. And it was like a 1, 2, 3 send type moment. I sent the money. There's no refunds. It's do or die at this point. So I think a lot of people, the most difficult part is quite literally start, because a lot of people also have this idea that, oh, I need to be so passionate about this company. I need to be obsessed from the beginning. It has to be perfectly formulated. That's not true.
Mm.
That's like
Right.
a relationship. I'm married now. When I first met my wife, it wasn't, oh, I love her more than anything on the planet. I'm so passionate about her. No, you build that over time. It's the same thing with a company. The more you work on it, the more passionate you get, the better, the more refined the concept becomes. But at the beginning, it's, I want to start a nutrition company. I want to start a marketing company, or what, like whatever. And you just have to get started. The more you work on it, the clearer the idea becomes. The more you work on it, the more passionate you become, the
Mm.
less likely you are to quit. It's like, if you could write it out as an equation, it's basically the most difficult part is the beginning. And then there's a
Yeah.
hump in the middle. But if you just keep working on it, you are much less likely to quit. You're more likely to quit in the first 3 months than you are in the first, like, after the third year, because you put all this time, energy, and effort into it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I would say the most difficult part is honestly just beginning. I don't mean beginning, I mean full on beginning. You don't have another job, you don't have a backup plan, you put your life savings into it. That is what scares people. And maybe they failed once, and nope, it's not for me. You know, the amount of
Mhm.
successful entrepreneurs that have declared bankruptcy. I mean, it's seems like it's more common than not at this point.
Mm. You mentioned earlier about, you have the idea. A lot of times you have the idea, and the people closest to you are the ones that are trying to shoot it down or dissuade you from doing it. But I think the best thing about the entrepreneurial community is that there are so many people willing to help you. And that's partly why I do what I do, connecting people with people that can help you, because it's lonely as an entrepreneur. And it's easier to quit if you don't have somebody to talk you down from the ledge when you think, oh, I can't do this. I failed. People are just so disappointed, realizing that it is, you have those people that tell you, hey, I failed 5 times, or, I filed bankruptcy, or it is a roller coaster ride. So who do you look up to and why?
Uh, I I now have a lot of good people in my life, but starting early on, I mean, I come from a family of doctors, academics. I was the only person in my family not to graduate from an Ivy League uh, or Ivy League like school. So MIT, Harvard, Oxford. I mean, I was
Hmm.
ridiculed. So there's not a whole lot of business advice I could lean on there. But you lean on books, then you read a biography, and you learn about Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Rockefeller, the presidents. I mean, and you realize, okay, they went through something similar. There was a lot of people that doubted them. They went through a lot of trauma, turmoil along the way. So early on, it was books, and a lot of the, like, what shaped me a lot. It's the man I am today. I love my parents. I love my family, but it's books, like, and that a lot of people need to
Yeah.
lean on Doesn't have to be, oh, I don't know anybody. Well, pick up a book like Charlie Munger, who's now passed away, but was Warren Buffett's right-hand man, said, make friends with the eminent dead. Like, read about Benjamin Franklin, learn about these people. So that's the first step, because a lot of people, especially when you start your journey, you might not have access to millionaires, billionaires, people that have been there, done that. But now I have a lot of people that I value. They have great ideas. They talk me down from the ledge, not just the ledge of quitting, because I really don't get to that point anymore, but hey, I don't think that's such a good idea. I think you're getting too excited. I think you're expanding too quickly. So, I mean, some of these people they've sold companies to CVS Health. They've sold in multiple companies, started multiple companies, and they're all good, genuine people. So it's important at the beginning, you need to find the podcast for you. You need to find the video for you. You need to find the books for you, because I leaned on that a lot early on. 18 to 21 was reading. There's motivational books. I mean, I did not watch any TVs. And there were times I'm like, I want to quit. Pop on a motivational video, pop on a podcast, something, because it does help you.
Yeah,
it really does help. And
it sure does.
then after that is just, you do have to find this circle, the people you like, trust, and admire. And you do have to have all three, because if you like somebody but you don't admire them, then they're just a friend. I wouldn't lean too much on their advice. If you admire somebody but you don't like them, well, you might not admire them as much as you think. So, I mean, it's really books, podcasts, people, but you got to choose wisely, because a lot of information out there is inaccurate, not true. There's times where there's also this is important to articulate. There's a difference between quitting and pivoting. Like, you can have an idea and you pivot completely 180, but the idea of what you want to accomplish, financial security, you want a house here, jet, whatever, you want a company, that should never change. What should change, because roads are going to always differ, is how you get there. And no company comes out fully formed. Every company that you can think of, most likely they changed their name at one point. They changed their color scheme. Their logo looked nothing like this. Their business model changed. A lot of things changed. So don't think like you're slacking as an entrepreneur. No, if you're pivoting, you're changing your company name, your logo, you're almost running out of money, but then you save it. Like, that is the epitome of an entrepreneur. You are literally doing it. That is what an entrepreneur is.
Absolutely. So tell us, or tell the audience, a little bit about what your business is today.
Today, what I'm working on is the most difficult, the most time consuming, the most rewarding, highest upside. It's called Freedom Chat. And Freedom Chat, some people want to associate it with a political ideology. Freedom is ubiquitous. People in Vietnam, people in Taiwan, people in Brazil, Argentina, everybody wants freedom. Everybody wants to be able to think freely, speak privately to those around them. Nobody's a fan of this groupthink. And there's a reason. I mean, China, for example, a lot of people want out of China for a good reason. So for us to be assigned a political ideology, not fair. But anyway, I digress. It is the world's most private messaging app, and it's designed for people, friends, and associates to communicate privately with one another. So whether you message in a group chat, one-on-one, or to your channel, everything is end-to-end encrypted, which means nobody can see what you're saying other than the intended recipient or recipients. We don't store messages on our server. So once a message is successfully delivered, it's removed from our server. We have no commercial use of user data. And then we allow you to edit, unsend, self-destruct, prevent screenshots, screen recordings. I mean, we are giving people the same privacy and security as the spoken word. And I think in today's day and age, with the rise of AI, with the surveillance, it is a breath of fresh air where you can just say something and you don't have to worry about it being leaked, your credit card information being leaked, your social security number being leaked, your images, videos, anything being leaked, because what's private should remain private.
Very true. So is there a particular person that influenced you to develop this act, or perhaps a scenario, a event that you said, this is something we need. Maybe you were burned on Facebook or something. So what drove you to really doing this innovative app, Freedom Chat?
So my third company was a marketing, website creation, hosting. I mean, we did everything basically. And we had quite a few clients. One of them was a news company. And I remember going through these questions because we owned we had their website. We did basically everything for them. And I saw some of their users comments, and it was an article about privacy, and they were very, very concerned, borderline paranoid. And this was 2.5 years ago. I just started looking into it a little more, started going down the rabbit hole, and what I found was truly terrifying, that these apps that say they're private aren't as private as you think. You'd be alarmed at the amount of information they collect, how they use that information. So it kind of just disgusted me. And you get to a point, like, how do you know when you're supposed to start a company? Well, what do you need? Is it A? And B is, does it make your blood boil? Like, if there's something you're like, this needs to be fixed, this needs to be done, then fix it, do it. And that was still is my feeling with privacy. And I just don't like the fakeness of it. Like, if you're going to collect data, you're going to tell people, fine, that's your business model, but don't act like you're private and not be private. So
Right.
I would dive into these, and some of the most popular apps in the world, Telegram, WhatsApp, act like they're truly private. When you dive into it, they're not. And so it honestly just got to the point, I'm like, you know what? I don't want to live in a world where I can't send my wife a text, an image, a video, picture of my son. Can't, hey, what's the credit card? I need to send a picture. Like, whatever it is, it should be private. What I say to my wife should be private. What I say to my business associates should be private. And I just got so annoyed, lacked so much trust in these other companies, that I texted 5 of our clients. And these are successful CEOs. These are really good, genuine guys, women too, but they're just good people, family oriented. So I value their opinion. They all 5 messaged me back. The ones I reached out to, all 5 messaged me back and said, yep, do it. And that was it. And I just started. And the company name didn't start as Freedom Chat. It didn't start as this refined concept. I mean, we were struggling along the way. You're just trying to put pieces together. And now it's really formed into a well articulated vision. The value proposition is there. And it really did start organically. And a lot of the companies usually do start organically. You can't force it. You can't be sitting there in a chair for 8 hours. Like, you got to try things. You got to try working on something for a week. And am I passionate about this? No, nope, not passionate. Is there something here? Yep, there is. Like, and I dove into this. And then after a week, I realized, wow, there's a lot here. I really love this. And I got bored actually with the nutrition. I didn't think there was that much work to do. And no offense to people that have a nutrition company, but like, there's working on that versus a messaging app. I like where things can go wrong. You need to work on something every single day. I like the chaos,
the challenge. Yeah.
the challenge. And that's also what you'll discover as an entrepreneur, like who do you want to be? And that's fine. I told my wife, like, it would be great to start another nutrition company. It's very laid back. There's the worst problem that could go wrong is probably a delay. Somebody didn't get their product. With this, there's a lot of things that can go wrong. Product crashes, doesn't work, security breach. It's like, it's a lot, but you got to pick and choose your battles. And I say this in one of my books, and I mean it, is you have to choose what you're willing to fight for, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for. So like, don't think of, oh, what do I love to do? Well, I mean, I love to read coffee on the beach. I can't do that every day. It's, well, what am I willing to give up my time for? Well, I'd be willing to work on this at any hours if need be. Yeah. What do I like? That's what you need to ask yourself. That's what's going to help people, not what do I love to do? Because most of the time when you work on a company, you're not going to love it. This sucks. Like, I'm fixing this bug. I'm responding to this angry customer, but this is what I'm willing to struggle for. So it's just a change of perspective.
So when you think of this app, what are your target audience for right now with this as you are rolling it out now?
My question for our audience.
What is your target audience? Is
Uh, right now well, there's a few different angles, but we're based on our initial 35,000 user downloads. They tend to be independent, live in rural areas. They have a deep distrust of big tech, as they should. And I mean, the other thing is your target market's a lot of times you're gonna have to test your hypothesis. Like I thought, oh, this is
mm-hmm,
the market, this is who we'll go after. No, sometimes it doesn't work out that way. And some people that you didn't think would gravitate towards it are gravitating towards it. And you just have to adapt as the market changes. So it's really independence, and it really does vary. I mean, we have a large number of moms down here as a group chat. We have conservatives, we have independents, we have sports people. It's just the people that are looking for a solution are that's who we're targeting. The people that are aware this is going on, that don't need to be sold, they just need to be told about the product. That's number two. And then, yeah, I mean, our name definitely does align with a certain percentage of the company or country,
right.
not company, rather.
Yeah.
And they tend to gravitate towards Freedom Chat as well.
Is it globally available or just in the US?
Globally, it can be downloaded anywhere in the world except pending certain countries, of course.
Yeah. And is there a cost for your app?
We believe privacy is a fundamental human right, so it's free, but we do have, if you want exclusive features, $5.99 a month, $52.99 a year. We also created Freedom Chat for Business, which is a white label version. So we allow healthcare companies, insurance companies, dating apps. We allow them to leverage and use Freedom Chat's end-to-end encryption, our user experience, and then basically take that, tweak it a little bit, like the color scheme, and then integrate it into their app so we can allow insurance companies, telemedicine companies to message privately,
Privately.
speak freely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's actually a huge need, not just as an independent standalone app.
Yeah, for sure. Well, time is flying by. A ton more questions that come to mind, but as always, we have a slide that the audience can use to connect with you if they have questions. If they think this is too cool and I have to have it, obviously I'll be sharing a website that you can go ahead and get this app. And please do reach out. When we get to the slide, if you want to share on your website where they can contact you. I know that you have a contact us on that website, but let me just share the slide right now and we can talk through this. So the website is simply freedomchat.com. Again, freedomchat.com. He also has a second website, which is his name, Tanner Haas, and that's TANNER TANNERHAAS.com. So his name.com. I'm going to turn it over to Tanner. He's going to talk about that website, the things he has out there, the links, the information about the app, and any difference between what you have in your personal website name versus Freedom Chat. So just go ahead and share all about those two websites.
Perfect. Thank you, Vicki. So if you're interested in Freedom Chat, want to learn more about our tech, download the app. You just go to freedomchat.com. If you're a business looking to secure your communication, go to freedomchat.com, scroll down, click on For Business. And then in my personal website, if you want to see some of the books I've written, you can go to tannerhaas.com. I also have book recommendations, not just from me, but from other influential individuals, billionaires, millionaires. And you can just see some of the books that they recommend. And I think that's a great way to get inside their thought process is, well, what books did they read that made them think that way, that made their beliefs?
Yeah.
I think that's one of the most interesting, beneficial things that people could do.
I know whenever I started my entrepreneurial journey, my first mentor was Jeff Olson, who wrote The Slight Edge. And part of his core values of his company, Neora, is that you read 10 pages of a book that will help you grow and develop every day. And I think that that was probably the most influential thing for me, because I've always been a reader, just like you, and found that it was really important that I sought out daily ways to grow and improve.
It really is just the daily little things add up. And you might not think they add up in the next month, the next two, the next three, but I mean, look at, and I don't want to get into politics, but like if you look at Joe Biden and Trump, they're both very old. They both became president. Like it shows that you can win at any stage of life. And you could be 65 and start a company like Colonel Sanders. You could be 70 and like it really at any stage of life you can win. And so you want to position yourself to win, not just today, but for the long term, because I mean, I'm still super young, but I want to be in a better position today than, when I'm 50 than I am today. And you can't just think, oh, what's happening today in the next 5 years. Like your life is most likely going to be a long, healthy, happy life. And so you have to prepare not just for today, but for the future as well.
That's right. Tanner, it's been so great chatting with you. As a 67-year-old to a young one like you, yes, it is never too late to learn. And lifelong learning should be everybody's T-shirt that they wear. And I think one of the impactful things we shared today is that you can't just think about it, you have to do it. And just as Nike says, action speaks louder than words, for sure.
100%. Thank you so much for having me on, Vicki. It was a pleasure.
Awesome. As always, I remind everyone that life is a journey, and it's up to you to enjoy the ride. This is Vicki Noethling, signing off.
Thank you for tuning into the Find Your Leadership Confidence podcast with Vicki Noethling, where we share impactful lessons that help you grow as an individual, grow your confidence, and find the positive and good within you so you powerfully and authentically become the best version of yourself. Remember to visit our website at www.findyourleadershipconfidence.com and enjoy even more great episodes like this one. Again, while you're here, subscribe to us via your favorite network. We look forward to seeing you next time on the Find Your Leadership Confidence podcast.